should we give the listeners what they want, which is the story, because this is insane.
James Watcher's put out a thing about this House of Unicorn show he's doing. You can pitch to him direct.
BrewDog is a £1 billion company. He's worth 250 million.
10 businesses, whittled down from obviously hundreds. 1 million gets invested in who James picks. The other 1 million is going to be invested in by who the public picks. It's the largest UK television prize in history. So I went at 6:20 to do the pitch to the camera and I choked big time. I was generally gutted after that first 60 seconds.
He was just like, I messed up. I'm so sorry. I've messed it up.
Well, I'll tell you what I learned from messing up. Go again. If you pitch to James, you've got 3 minutes opposed to just 1. I saw a queue forming on the other side of the bar. How can we stand out? There's going to be 100 plus businesses there. How can Rupert be remembered when he leaves that event? Let's sort of go for the juggler now. Let's really get seen. Scraped all his comments from 2024. Comments he hadn't responded to. Why didn't I put this on a massive piece of paper?
It's now about 9 o'clock. There's now energy in the room. Timing was perfect.
I walked over to Jay and said, hello mate, nice to meet you. Can you stand up and get over here? Grabbed one end and then proceeded to pull this 5 metre long poster out.
No one was watching anyone do a pitch until that was rolled out, and everyone in that room only paid attention to him rolling out his comments.
He'd been sat there for 2 hours by this point, listened to 3 minute pitch after 3 minute pitch. He was so engaged with it.
Once that door's open, you've got one opportunity.
If you genuinely want a unicorn, this is it. This is going to be the Canva of comments.
We're being talked about in the house.
This isn't like anything else.
My always open dashboard that I'm in and out in. Once the user is doing that, like we are seeing with our users, and that skyrockets, that's where those big numbers start coming from.
84,000 people using that product, and that's £1 billion business.
Nothing could have made that any better.
Welcome to another episode of The Fake Marketer, everybody. Nick is back, the doctor.
Thank you.
Who's dressed as a doctor today.
I've decided. In everything I do, I'm dressed as a doctor now. I have to.
People what they want. You are. It's the brand.
It's the brand, so I have to be dressed as a doctor.
Okay.
Part of your contract.
Yeah.
I went on a call with a guy called Matt, Matt the real estate guy, back over in Florida today, and haven't been on a call with him for a couple of months actually, since Christmas. And he sort of double took. And I said, you've not seen me dressed as a doctor, have you? And he said, well, I have, because I'm in school. So I've been watching your videos in school, so I've seen you dressed as a doctor in that, but I haven't had the one-to-one doctor, no.
You know, the personal appointment.
So I said, well, let's see what we can fix.
He hasn't had the consultant.
GP one.
Nice.
Yeah, but he's in school watching the videos, so.
How's school going? What number are you on?
We're on 78, we grew 4 today.
Well done, that's good.
Yeah, so 78.
Brick by brick.
love his comment. When are we
Cheers.
going to get him a microphone? Because I think it's a threesome now.
I built all the way up to getting a microphone, and then we went back to these.
It's a threesome, isn't it? I think we need him. I think he needs to have one.
We need to know.
Part of the charm, I think.
We haven't got the money to pay for it.
So anyway, we got man of the hour in the house today. Yeah, Michael, James, and I went down to Waterloo yesterday for a little tip, and for the one occasion that Michael should have come with his cameras, he didn't, because we thought it was just going to be pointless. Well, you did, and then
No, I didn't think.
no, not okay.
I didn't think it would be pointless, but it was. That's the money shot.
So anyway, should we give the listeners what they want,
Let's do
which
it.
is the story, because this is
So
insane.
this started last year.
You can use this for the vlog.
Yeah, we could actually. Yeah. So anyway, last year we saw. Well, I saw James Watt, the BrewDog founder, doing a lot for trying to get. Trying to do a lot to invest in businesses. Yeah, so we put a lot of stuff on LinkedIn saying, look, do me a pitch video or write me a whatever it was. And obviously you've all seen the video that Michael's done, which is me running up a mountain in Lanzarote, Tenerife, whichever one I was at.
Yeah, which got
Well, no one saw it.
no.
So yeah, basically. But it was good, you know. But anyway, he maybe
in the
did.
right direction, or in the right direction.
So last week when I was running, before you start, I was running, and James Brown from here texted me saying, oi, James Watcher's put out a thing about this House of Unicorn show he's doing, and you can pitch to him direct. You just need to fill in this form. So got back, filled it in.
Would you have seen that if James hadn't stood out and said, I've just seen this? Do you think this could have been missed? It would have been.
As it was a Friday and I was running 55k, yes.
That was your live reaction.
Yeah, there you go. That was me coming back from my race.
Okay.
So did it, and then it was Sunday. We always knew it was going to be Tuesday night down in Waterloo, but you heard nothing. And then
for those who don't know, it's BrewDog's largest. I think it's the largest pub in the UK.
I know. I think it's the largest pub in Europe.
In Europe,
Nick.
underneath Waterloo. You were shocked because we walked in, didn't we? And you were like, "Oh, I wonder where it'd be." And I said, "Oh no, we haven't walked around the corner yet." And you're like, "Oh my god, there's a skittle alley in it. There's everything."
There's a slide. Podcast studios. Anyway, so we went there. A huge place, and we weren't. You weren't going to be told until a few days before if you were successful. And I got the email on Sunday night saying that you've been approved to come down and pitch to James. So got the email. The email itself was pretty bare in terms of information. It was, vague at best. 60 seconds, no more, no less, pitch. So obviously I emailed you saying, or text you saying, look, I've done this pitch. What do you think? We changed it a bit. And for the next 48 hours, with very little sleep, memorised this 60-second pitch within an inch of my life. Until the 60-second.
That was when you told me. I forgot it was called House of Unicorns, so James said House of Unicorn. I was like, I don't know what that is.
Yeah. So it was very good. So we got down there, and my pitch was 6:20.
You got a little ticket or something?
I was going to say, what was frustrating was, so James wasn't there till about 7 o'clock, I don't think it was, 6:30, 7.
Yeah.
And what was really annoying was that you got one of 3 tickets. One which was pitching to him, and the other 2 which was just doing it to camera for 60 seconds.
It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up, but every third, 3, 6, 9, 12, was a 3-minute.
Which is frustrating. So I didn't get one. I got 1 or 2.
Do you know how many people were there? I know we were unsure about
100 odds. 100 odds.
It was full. I mean, you had to it was full.
Yeah. So about 100 odd. I didn't get one, so I went at 6:20 to do the pitch to the camera, and in American slang, I choked big time. Not a little bit, a huge 3 times a lady. The girl, bless her, went, "No, you can have a go." Although she wasn't really half interested.
So you got a camera in your face. You got a girl who's got a little pad and not paying any attention.
Yeah, it was hard. There was you couldn't feed off on any energy. So I left very dejected. Came around the corner, felt a bit disappointed myself, and just I've disappointed people, all the rest of it. And then you were chatting to a couple of people.
But I think what the listeners are missing. I don't think we've mentioned this. The reason the camera's in your face is because this is turning into a program.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
So
the biggest thing out of it is that James, what BrewDog is a £1 billion company. He's worth 200. Is it? Yeah. They're a unicorn company themselves, aren't they?
yeah, they're worth multiple billion.
So he's a unicorn company himself. A stat for you is there's only 87 unicorn companies in the UK. British companies have made £1 billion or over. He's worth 250 million, and he's putting his own £2 million into the winner, and will become an investor with that 2 million, which will be the largest TV business competition ever. Out of Dragon's Den, it'd be the largest investment amount.
Yeah, it's the largest UK television prize in history.
So the reason James has got a camera in his face during the thing and there's no one actually there who cares, because we thought it might be like, are you pitching to one of his counterparts or something?
Yeah, that's what
but it's just a camera because it's just footage. And when we came to realise, when we started talking to the producers at the show, because obviously we're going to try and talk to everyone, they're like, oh, we're just getting info, just trying to find out.
It's like X Factor, isn't it? Where it's like loads of people audition.
Yeah. And they want the people who are the show, and we got James, so there's going to be a show. So that was good. There you go. So there's the context.
Sorry, apologies.
There's the context of the programme.
Yeah, so it's going to be a show. It's not, they haven't got a broadcaster for you yet, but the format is 10 businesses are going to be whittled down from obviously hundreds, and they're going to be on the show. It's going to be a 6-week intensive cohort, and it sounded like, a bit like X Factor, you'd certain obviously they've got an expert judge, but every judge has a sort of cohort. It's going to be the same. They're going to have different business experts have different cohorts. So 1 million gets invested in by who James picks. The other 1 million is going to be invested in by who the public picks, which is where the difference is in terms of what's currently available in terms of like the apprentice stuff. So it's really quirky. And yeah, so I then came out the pitch, which I'd choked, utterly, completely choked. It made me laugh, actually. So obviously there's a lot of founders there, and a lot of them were, naturally, how do you get on? Have you done your pitch yet? Because you've got nothing else in common apart from talking that, because that's just what you do at these things.
Well, that guy was just eating, and when I was trying to talk to him, Michael, this guy, James is getting a bit nervous. Oh, and then hold on, before we did that, we saw one of our old clients.
Oh,
who's coming?
Couldn't believe this, right? So we walk it. So we got there a little bit early. We walked in, and I said, "Here, we'll just pack our stuff there." I turned to my left and went, "You're right, Sahel." Brawn. Yeah, a client.
The shaving company.
No. Brawn, the a new a bodybuilding app thing that we did before your time. I think actually we did the advertising for them.
Yeah, so you saw him.
Was he there to pitch?
Yeah.
Didn't see our pitch though, did he? Left before that.
No, well, we'll go on to that. So, we saw Sahel, and a lot of founders there, and how you get pitch getting on, and, some were really honest, said, it was really good. Some were really honest.
I saw one on LinkedIn today. It was, I think, the House of Unicorn people replied to her, and she said that her pitch went really bad, but she's like, what have I learned from this opportunity? You know what I mean? It's all that twaddle.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what I learned from messing up. Go again. So we messed up. We were loitering around, and the event was from 6 till 9. And what actually we figured out is that, or found out obviously during the event, which is James, if you pitch to James, you've got 3 minutes opposed to just 1, which was to camera. So I was like, okay, that's even more annoying because you've got 3 minutes. It'd have been face to face. You could actually, really
time to get in.
Yeah, you can. There can be some dialogue between the two of you, and if he has got any questions, you can ask. You can really build up the rapport. So about 8:30, I saw a queue forming on the other side of the bar. Now, just to bring it back a little bit, I know I'm sort of digressing a bit, but when I first got in there, I kept asking all his team where I could put my massive poster, and they said, "Well, it's 5 meters long." And I said, "Well, look, let's stick it up there." And they were like, "Well, we can't get a ladder."
We need to give context to what the poster is.
So I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. So what is this poster? Wow. On Sunday night, obviously, I got the email, and I was trying to think, how can we stand out? There's going to be 100 plus businesses there. I'm sure a lot of them have got very good ideas, but I think Rupert's the best by far. So how can I really stand out? How can Rupert look and be remembered when he leaves that event? So I got on the phone to you don't know this actually. So I got on the phone to an agency that have a load of actors. So I was thinking like, how could I utilise them?
Could you send in one of these video things? Your first idea was to get people to shout out comments or something.
Yeah. So I was going to get a load of actors, but because I didn't understand or know how the setup was, I don't know how you could have done it.
Because you didn't know if you were going into a room or.
We have no idea. So that was a no-go. And then I thought, okay, well maybe we could. What's my other ideas?
Scrape the comments of the previous winners as well.
Yeah, so that was it. So I was going to pray. The 5 businesses James just invested in, I thought, I'll tell you what would be really good is if I scrape all the comments that they've missed. And obviously he won't want the businesses that he's just invested in to have bad negative comments. It's impacting his investment.
Yeah.
Again, pull on that heartstring. They're not live at the moment, a lot of these businesses. They've sort of got websites, but they're not really doing a lot on there. Clearly, they've had this investment that you can see they're sort of just doing stuff in the background. So it wasn't going to be right. But then obviously I saw his comments on his and went, okay, this is perfect. Let's sort of go for the juggler now. Let's really get seen. Like, forget BrewDog, because I can't, because there's an age restriction on the account, so I can't scrape his comments. Let's just go for the juggler. Let's go for James's. So I scraped all his comments from 2024. And in total of comments he hadn't responded to were just over 7,500. So it was about 6,250 or something. And there were some really bad ones. There were some ugly ones, but there were also some decent ones and all the rest of it. So I thought, okay, why didn't I put every single one of these comments on a massive piece of paper? Or I could put a comment on each piece of paper and do all 7,000. So I'd have a stack of 7,000.
It was either a stack or a roll, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I went to the printers, Mark. I said, "Oh, Mark, what's the idea?" He went, I can't do that by tomorrow, James. I said, "Why? It'd be fine just flying through." Like, Absolutely not. Do you know how big 7,000 pieces of A4 paper are? I have absolutely no idea. It's like, you just can't.
We wouldn't get it down there.
You have to transport it.
Yeah, he said you won't do it. So I was like, oh, okay, that's annoying. So I then went, well, why don't I, could you do me a long piece of paper, like a poster? He said, well, yeah, but you won't be able to 8,000. You won't be able to read them. So after some deliberation and some tweaking, we got 200 comments on there. Real mixture, good, bad, and ugly. But we also then put his Instagram banner at the top, so it looked like it was his feed.
Yeah.
And yeah, we went down.
That was brilliantly done, by the way, because it was, we're talking like 5 meters long by a meter wide.
5x1, yeah.
5x1. So his profile picture is the size of a football, wasn't it? Looked just like Instagram, and with his text, his name and everything next to it.
Well, that was Michael. So shout out to Michael.
Yeah,
did that.
I heard this while you were out before the podcast. Michael's needed a bit of a shout out for.
Yeah. Well, I did give Michael a shout out to James, actually, just as a FY. Because he said, who's your employee? So I went, well, that guy over there with the you can't. Oh, I'll tell you about that actually at the end. No. We'll say at the end, so don't start.
Well, I saw in that clip, you just said, it's just me and Nick, and I was thinking, but then you were like, am I? And I was like,
No. I was excited, right? Let's just give it.
That's fine, I'll let it.
So anyway, we had this 5x1 meter poster, and I was trying to tell all his staff how I could get him to see it. And to be fair,
Hanging from because they got like the plant shelves up the walls, haven't they? So it was like, can we fix these up here with some big clips or something?
I just got told to jog on, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah,
wow,
there.
behind him.
Yeah, on the right hand side there. You see that where the grind pots are there, Nick?
Yeah.
I tried,
It would have been good.
but they were having none of it. Well, and also they're busy.
Everything worked out perfectly though. Didn't
Yeah, but I then actually, before we left for the day, tested it upstairs, and actually walking across it and reading them was really important. So I went, okay, well let's just look at that. Look, I was showing the clip now of me walking out of the office. Look at this.
It looks like a lot more, because when you said to me it was only like 300 comments or whatever, I'm going, it's going to look a bit pants.
Looks like though. I mean, it's so effective.
It's very good. So yeah, I queued up and I said to one of his team, I said, he said, no, you'll be fine. We'll make sure you're in here. And he did call me the 5 meter boy, which made me laugh. Because I kept going about this 5 meter long thing.
Yeah.
So I am queuing up. Like, there he is, the man with the hat, legend, by the way. Whoever that guy is.
He was cameraman as well.
Were you nervous at this point? There's like a minute to go.
I'm not joking now. I didn't give a shit about this bit.
I got over the nerves from the first pitch that we.
I wasn't even Nick. It wasn't the nerves. There's no energy. There was no energy in that room. Like I talk.
If you'd have gone to do this straight away and hadn't done the first bit, would you have been nervous?
No, I'd have been fine.
The thing that was perfect about this at this point, it's now about 9 o'clock.
Yes.
So
It's 9:10.
Yeah, 9:10. There's now energy in the room because they've got buckets of free booze, alcohol free, normal free. So everyone is just caning. They've served loads of food, haven't they? Loads of food. Everyone's chatting. Everyone's had at least a couple of cans each. So everyone's now in a jolly mood. And there's atmosphere in the room now, isn't there? There's noise and stuff. The timing was perfect.
Yeah. So I queued up. Guy went in front of me, and the chap with the hat came across and said, right, you're next now, mate. But he said, should we roll it out now? I said, absolutely not, mate. Leave it. He said, well, at least take it out but even his PA, he said, do you want to start unrolling it? I said, yeah, absolutely not. He's pulling out. So I got out the wrapper, and then I walked over to Jay and said, hello, mate, nice to meet you. Can you stand up and get over here?
If I was him, I would have been like scared. Like, what's
No, he seems like a top guy. He's wanted to, he's not a moody guy, was he?
No, he was. I thought he came across really well, and something before we go on about the next part, which is he stayed there till very late, and he saw everyone because he appreciated people coming up down from Sheffield. I spoke to a guy who came from Dublin that night, so yeah, to be fair, but yeah, no, look, he walked over. But what was lovely about this bit, so obviously I asked him to stand up, which he was game for. He did it straight away, which was amazing. Grabbed one end and then proceeded to pull this 5 meter long poster out. But what was amazing, even when you watch the footage, if you listen to it, you can hear people like going, the energy just was like...
Yeah, everyone's now watching.
Yeah, it was absolutely...
Essentially, there must have been 60 people left.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just... No one was watching anyone do a pitch until that was rolled out, and everyone in that room only paid attention to him rolling out his comments.
Yeah. And what's amazing is people had to move out the way. So it really did like, oh, what's this? But what was lovely about this interaction here is that all of his team started looking at the comments as well. It wasn't just James.
Yeah.
So, obviously I then walked down and sort of said, look, give him a bit of synopsis in terms of, these are all comments that you and your team have missed. So obviously discussing Rupert and all the rest of it. I don't know if he was scared, but yeah, what was lovely is that just walking down, he was reading them. He was so engaged with it because he'd been sat there for 2 hours by this point. Yeah. Listening to 3-minute pitch after 3-minute pitch, and they can be the best pitchers in the world, but sitting there for 2 hours doing that.
It's hard work. And the shame is in those situations, you're going to miss out on potentially really good things because you're just tired.
Yeah, but to be fair, he didn't look. I'll give him his due. He didn't look knackered at all, did he? I thought he was really.
It was a good idea to make, because I said to you, why don't you just make them smaller so you can fit more comments on for like the impact? Because I'm like, if there's 900 comments is better, but then you said no, I want to be able to read.
Yeah,
correct.
Yeah, and you could read them standing up, and I don't know if you're getting into this, but it wasn't just his staff were reading it, he was reading it, and then a very, very, very important person started reading it,
which we'll go on to. So I decided that I was going to totally forget the 60-second pitch because I've got 3 minutes with this guy now. Let's sit down and discuss Rupert properly. What the issue is. I spoke about BrewDog, the issues that I've seen with their comment section.
Just free ball.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, look, I've done this product enough now. We need to, and I was quite, bullish, about you've built a community brand, yet you're not engaging with your community and neglecting them.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say the penny dropped at all, but it's like, yeah, you're probably right. That's just BrewDog, let alone his own stuff. Because I said, even with a team of the size that you've got, you're still not managing these comments. You've got some really good comments there. People are engaging with you. They've gone out their way to respond and comment on your post like you're leaving them unanswered.
Mm.
And if you did that in a coffee shop, you'd leave with a bad experience and being rude. There's no difference.
Mm.
So I think it was really good. I'll be honest. I was just, by this point, I was buzzing. Yeah, I was, because it was like, I knew I'd messed up the first one. I thought he was genuinely engaged. I was like, right, we're going to not miss the opportunity here. It was very, very good. He asked about the volume of clients, where the development is it in the UK or all this stuff? What's the pricing model? And yeah, just had good 3-minute chat. But then how I ended it was, if you genuinely want a unicorn, this is it. This is going to be the Canva of comments. Is how I just signed off, which I thoroughly enjoyed doing.
Yeah.
And yeah, there it is. It was. I'm so glad I messed the first bit up, because if I hadn't, I don't think I'd have queued up.
No, because you would have sat. Yeah. It just worked out perfectly, didn't it?
It really did. Because I was generally gutted after that first 60 seconds, because I'd nailed it. I'd nailed it in terms of timings, and then obviously that happened. I was like, oh, you let down. But then obviously the opportunity
arose. And then who was the golden child who also read the comments there? So
we finished the pitch. James and his wife to be, I think they're engaged. Toff from Made in Chelsea went out, I guess, just toilet break and just have some food or whatever it was, and then what was amazing, a lot of the founders came over, didn't they? Going, that was brilliant. Everyone was like, fair play.
Everyone was jealous. I think, I should have done something.
It didn't come across in that vibe. I think it's like fellow founders know the struggle, and it's like, fair play. You've done well there.
There was some appreciation of fair.
Yeah.
You've.
But that one founder who was just like.
So we sat down, and you were more buzzed than I was. Nick was like high as a kite, like, whoa. Obviously, I didn't understand what was going on, because I was in.
Oh, you're in it. You're in it.
I was in it.
I'm watching it.
I was thoroughly enjoying myself, and this girl, someone we'd spoke to earlier, came over and said, "Oh, I don't know if it was negative, but I think there was trying to be a bit of a downer on this one, which is, did you know that Toff, or is it Georgie or Drinier?
Georgie Toff.
Georgie Toff. I'm going to say Toff, right? Toff has been reading some of the really negative comments about it. You might want to go and apologise.
Opportunity.
And I was like, well, I will, because I said that wasn't the point of this exercise at all. But also I was like, is that a bit of a comment?
Who cares?
No, I know.
Yeah, no,
but I'm just like, Come
Yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah.
But anyway, I thought, no, you're absolutely right. If she has, and because she was sat by herself, I thought, oh, is she genuinely a bit upset? I was like, hopefully not. I hope I'm not absolutely.
Gonna ban you from the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we were like, go and apologise.
So I went over, I said, oh, lovely to meet you. I just want to apologise if there were some comments there that sort of were about you that, were aimed at James. I wasn't meaning to cause offence. So yeah, apologies. She's like, she went, absolutely not. I've seen them all before. Don't worry about that. I'm a bit more thick-skinned. Yeah. But what she said was, we've just been talking about you outside. We absolutely love your business. We think it's brilliant. I even want to use it myself.
Yeah, amazing.
And so I was like, okay, this is cool. But also what was amazing was she said, I even saw some comments that I'd written myself, so I knew it was right. So in terms of a social proof perspective, she knew those.
Did you pick those comments?
No, I just did a total.
It
It was a total mixture because there was just so many to go through. You couldn't.
But from their point of view, there could have been anything on there. Could have been made up comments, anything. But she was like, no, they were my comments. I remember I wrote those comments,
So
which is amazing.
So then that happened, and yeah, it was nice because we'd left the comment posted down, and all night, we were only there for half an hour later, weren't we? And people were just reading them, staff members of the BrewDog. It was
you got a few pictures of all that.
Yeah, it was really, really good. It was really, really good. But it was a really good evening. I have to say, fair play, because it was all food and drink all night. No money exchanged hands, did it at all. If you wanted there to go and get obliterated, you could do. There was, I thought they put on a really good.
Loads of booze, loads of food.
Well, not a load of. Obviously, I wasn't drinking alcohol free. It was brilliant.
Well, that one software engineer I spoken to, I said, "How are you here?" He's like, "I'm not even pitching." He said, "I just follow certain Facebook groups, and I come into these things as like a bit of a networking thing." And he ended up going to these things as a networking thing. I don't know. I mean, if he gets business from it, fair play. It's another lead gen route, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. I find the whole.
It's bizarre.
Oh, I find it so strange. Like, obviously we spoke to a lot of people last night. Some of the ideas are great. Some are like, there's this guy or these guys that have a golf simulator for the top of yachts. You don't know about this. So, well, I when you sort of look, I know everyone's got an idea, and I'm not saying ours is better than everyone else's, although I saw that. I'm sometimes baffled with what people think are genuinely decent businesses. I mean,
there's a lot of yachts in the world now, but it's a very, 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 very niche.
It's niche. Yeah, it's niche.
Niche,
yeah.
Seriously niche. When you think of how many yachts parked in all these places, and then they've got how many 1 in 50 buys your product to put on the top of his yacht.
Yeah, it's bizarre. Yeah. But there's lots of. But in terms of the night itself, I have to say, I thought it was done really well.
Yeah, there's like the one lad that I spoke to who couldn't stop eating, which was annoying. But he was one of these really clever lads who just probably doesn't understand the social situations enough. So as I'm speaking to him, he comes over with a mouthful of brownie, or eating this brownie, and he's like, and then I'm like, and then we try to have a conversation. But when I ask him a question, he then takes a bite and he answers with a mouthful of food. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. But
good at business, not.
But he'd actually created a gamification plugin. So it plugs into e-commerce websites. So when people are buying products from an e-commerce, it'll then gamify the website so that you can get points on those point equal things. But, quite a cool thing, not for now, but, in the future, depending on how many people get quarantine their messages or how many people respond, you gamify it, like school. There's a game. It's big because it's a gamification platform as well at the same time. So it's quite a new thing, isn't it? Gamifying has started.
Yeah, there are. I don't want to sort of piss on your parade last night, but there are quite a few people that do that already. I don't want to, No, it's good. If these, increasing conversions for people, absolutely great. But no, it's not a unique service. There is already some stuff out there. But
I was saying to James, I watched Dragon's Den, and even on the one yesterday, someone got investment for something that is basically just Opus. Like what we use, it literally looks the same. It sort of does the same.
Wow.
So prior to going to the event, obviously since Sunday night, I've been in my own little world, just going, okay, forget about the pitch and how to stand out. Is that what types of businesses genuinely become a unicorn, right? So a unicorn is classed as obviously is valued at $1 billion or more. And when you look at the easiest way to do it is SaaS, because the multiples on SaaS businesses are a lot better than a physical product. Although you could say, depending on the brand, there's some legacy brands, but anyway. So I was then thinking about Rupert and going, okay, how do we get Rupert to become a £1 billion business, which is 50 million annual recurring revenue at 20x? And it's not out of the realms of possibility, like at all. That was the scary thing. I sat there on Sunday night, I couldn't sleep, so I went back in my office. And when you look at what 50 million annual recurring revenue is, and then you put it against Rupert, there's no reason why that can't do that.
Yeah. Just more years.
But it's not even like the product. I get it. If you were having a product which was a bit crap, I'd sort of go, okay, we can get to a certain level.
Yeah, before it caps out.
The churn rate's going to be too high, and they'll just all that stuff. The thing with this is that it's a very sticky product. It's generally helping, and it's really helping brands that have got this challenge.
Yeah.
I was on with Emma's diary today. Emily absolutely loved it. They even, I don't know if you knew this, they have a customer service agent that works out of hours. Did you know that?
Doing their comments.
Yeah. For crisis management.
I did, because I remember they had a crisis. That's how I find out.
Yeah.
They had a crisis, and then Emily had to work all on Saturday to try and fix the crisis.
Stops that.
Yeah.
So when you look at, if they want and this is what I was trying to say to one of the producers last night, I'm like, look, and actually the producer, to be fair to her, she came out after I'd finished the pitch, and obviously I was trying to find you on the wall ceiling wherever you were.
I was absolutely, couple of beers in me, I was buzzing. Best night out. I was like, that's the best night out. You don't need to go out there.
Before I go into the producer stuff, how did you, if you were explaining it, how did it go?
It's just you down to a T. It's like even Michael knows this now. I've worked with you for 16 years. Michael's worked with you for 2. And he's already knows once that door's open, you've got one opportunity, and it's doing absolutely everything I need to do in that opportunity.
Well, I feel like you're good when all you need is that opening, and then you're.
But you said it beforehand when we were waiting there. It's like we were having a beer in BrewDog, keep them called beforehand, weren't we? Mm. And you were going, you've seen the booth stuff. It's like I need a room full of people and me. And I can do my stuff. But not. It's the energy. No, not from an arrogant point.
No, not at all.
The energy in that room gives you, it fuels you, doesn't it? Like it fuels you, and it's just like bang, and it's not that everyone's watching you. It's just like I've now got him. There's energy in the room, and that wouldn't have happened if you hadn't had that role. That would have gone a little bit because it got him up. It broke him up. Honestly, I was thinking today, I don't know what else there is. There's nothing. Nothing could have made that any better. Nothing could have made it any better. He came off the thing, he was buzzing, his missus was there, she's then getting involved. And the thing is, like I said this morning, this isn't now just him at a pitch, out of hours, to try and find someone to invest in. This is now in his household with his wife or fiance being talked about with both teams. It's now we're being talked about in their house. Have you used it yet? Do you know what I mean? This isn't just like a put up, put down and forget about it.
Hopefully.
It makes you think if all that didn't work, with all that we hear of the product and the people who use the product and the garden centre who's just come on who are using it and they're in it every day, the wellness people over in the States who are using it and they've actually got a Rupert, names at Rupert, however, Rupert at their
email.
At their email. Like all it takes now,
and their CEO.
And their CEO's using it. And Emma's diary today. All it takes now is 150,000 people to be using it every month.
You don't even need that. You need 7 times 12, 94.
94,000 people.
84,000 people using that product, and that's £1 billion business. I know it's a lot of numbers. Like I get it when you've got 84,000, but if your churn rate is low and you know what your CPA is, and word of mouth, like even today, I've got a call tomorrow with True BrewDog, who is a menswear brand. Someone I know was speaking to her friend, who's a social media manager, moaning about comments. Introed me on LinkedIn and got a demo call for tomorrow. It'll be that wildfire.
Yeah,
It'll be
yeah.
again, it's like Canva. Everyone says, I'm trying to do this. Have you used Canva? Have you used Rupert?
We get to the point of the word of mouth, but it's that trust basis where it's now, Canva's now seen as something. Oh, my calls. Anyone, you just need to go, what would you use? Canva? Oh, yeah, I know. Oh, yeah, I've got a
like
Canva
MailChimp.
account.
Like MailChimp.
Yeah.
What's
Today,
MailChimp valued at?
Yeah, today I was Matt, the real estate guy. He was like, I said, we're in ClickFunnels building something. And I said, where do you want these going? He said, I'm just really comfortable with MailChimp. I know it. Use MailChimp then. Do you know what I mean? 12
billion
How
MailChimps.
much it was acquired for?
Oh my! They bought
Acquired for
it
12 billion.
by Inuit. Oh my god! That's what I mean. This is like I get when you've got there was those two girls we spoke to that have the energy drink. Like I get it, I really do. But this isn't like anything else.
No, and then once it's plugged into the other platforms, TikTok, LinkedIn, you're not having to go into the platforms to monitor it. All monitored in one place, quarantines it in one place. You can have an employee just sit there and Rupert every day, making sure it's like...
Yeah. Well, also...
it needs to become a habit, doesn't it? It needs to be a habit. Like I go into Go High Level every day to do my stuff. It's my always open dashboard that I'm in and out in. And once a user is doing that, like we are seeing with our users, and then that skyrockets, that's where those big numbers start coming from, those valuations, because they're just like, you'll start average logins and how often someone's back logging.
Well, they're logging in every day on average.
So it's like...
It's sticky. Like this is why I'm, when you said about, all you need is an opening, you do it's because the product is genuinely good for people.
Yeah, you know that if you just show them the product, they're going to get it because it's like it does what it says.
Well, it does what it says and it solves a problem. So I sat down. So after the pitch, I sat down with the producer because she wanted to know a little bit more. So the producer is the person that basically casts everyone, makes sure it all works out and the rest of it. And she was asking me this question. I said, well, look, do you want me to just come out and get my laptop out and I'll show you how it works? She said, yeah, I'd absolutely love to. And we were sat there for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
She thought it was brilliant. She couldn't believe it. She thought it was absolutely excellent. And like I said to her, look, again, there's amazing businesses here. But if you want that's generally easy to scale, I think easier to scale than some of them, and has a ceiling of what we're trying to achieve here, which is get someone or a business that's up to £1 billion valuation. It's sat there. It's on this laptop. And it's not being arrogant. I just genuinely believe it.
Absolutely.
And we got these free beers, which are called House of Unicorns, where startups soar. No, I'm not going to drink that. I'm going to keep
Strong
that.
that is.
I
I had about 3 of those last night. A few beers last night, honestly.
And we had our paddles.
Yeah.
I was buzzing. It was like, for me, it was like when we won the award. Like, amazing.
So.
Are we finished now? Is this the end of the podcast now?
It will be in a second. I've just got.
Sorry, I thought you were... Sorry.
No. So I finished the pitch with James Watt. I thought, is it okay if I just grab a quick picture? It's right. We'll get Grandad Nick to take the picture, shall we? I don't know if he was really excited or just... I don't know. His hand was over the camera.
No, it wasn't over the camera.
Okay.
Otherwise, you would have seen it. I can tell you exactly what happened. So, and it's something I was even having problems with today.
Can I just quickly, before you tell me what
Viral ran, yeah.
Okay, so there's the photo which we finally got. But even James was like, do you know how to use that phone?
Right. Can I now defend myself?
You can defend yourself.
So, Michael, I had my orders at the beginning of the day yesterday on our travels to film in landscape. Right.
I feel it coming over there.
So it's in landscape and it's in record mode, and then it all finishes and goes to 0 on the timer, and then you would like pick the thing and pass it to his head. I'm still holding the phone in landscape and it's recording. Yeah. And then I'm like, okay, stop record, turn it like this, but it's still in video mode. So I pressed that and it's videoing rather than taking a photo. And then I'm trying to swipe to get onto the thing, and I'm all a bit like, it's all going on. You two are sitting there like that. I basically got $1 billion guy sitting there going, is he going to hurry up? And I'm like, just get onto photo.
It's like in now.
Then I hit photo, I went, and did about 25 in a second.
But when he was doing it, his hand was over the...
Was it over the top?
Yeah, that's why I was like, does he know how to use that camera?
Oh, it's because I went from landscapes like this. Nightmare. So I will admit it, yeah.
James is good in depression. Nick was not good in depression.
Brilliant.
I was just buzzing. So I was just like, and then I'm starting to think, all these little things, like a mistake I always make is, I think I've pressed record and I haven't.
I can imagine.
Where the little red thing comes up at the top and you haven't.
I'm terrified.
And then you finish, you're like, I didn't record it, but I did.
That's why I'm walking back and forth the whole time.
Making sure, yeah.
It's like us with a play date or whatever.
We're not going now.
We went straight into the park to interview.
Had amazing interviews.
The first person we got was just like
the
best answer, a perfect target market, and then didn't record.
I was gutted as well because I was trying to make it right. So I had it on landscape, I put it on the table, and then when I'm watching it this morning, when it's on the table, I was like, God, you can hear it so well, both your conversations. But I don't know this is happening. And then I'm thinking, it was being wobbly on the table, so I didn't want it falling over and not getting anything. So I gave it to his assistant, and then you can't hear it. And then when it went back for the last 20 seconds, you can hear it perfectly. I'm like, oh, I wish I left it on the table. And then I overhear you going, do you want me to get my laptop? So I'm like, holding these signs up, trying to video, thinking, I'm going to run to his bag and get a laptop so he can then get the laptop out. And I'm trying to do it.
I'll tell you what happened there. So he said, how easy is it to use? He said, you can plug in now. I said, take you less than 3 minutes, I get you signed up. And he went, really? He went, oh yeah, go on then. Got his phone out, and I went,
oh, it doesn't work on mobile.
I said, here, get my laptop.
Yeah.
I was so like, because the timer's going, but then at the end, he shouted over to his PA to say, I think it was Priya, her name was, which is, we need to sign up for this tomorrow. So, yeah, it was...
the free trial hasn't come through today, so that'll be a chase up tomorrow.
Yeah, it will be a chase up. So
she ain't going nowhere until that's done.
No. So, no, it was... well, we asked for an opportunity, didn't I? I think, I said on that video that I did on Sunday on LinkedIn, which is, look, we've been asking for an opportunity for a long time now.
Yeah.
All we've got to now do is stand out.
Yeah.
So we better think about something.
He must have been drinking the BrewDog AF, alcohol-free, because he was going through those things. Every time I looked over, he's basically finishing another can. I'm going to go home and have a BrewDog drink because I'm buzzing. Are
you still buzzing now?
Yeah, I could get on it tonight.
I wasn't even there, and I still feel like...
I could get on it tonight.
I think watching the videos makes...
It was good. It was good.
Really exciting.
Yeah.
If it was Friday night, if we were on a Friday tonight, I'd be out tonight.
I can see you're still energized by now, but you were
so cool.
Yeah. It was a good opportunity. That's all we wanted, wasn't it? We just wanted one opportunity to show him what it was. The
night was brilliant.
Yeah, I feel like if you imagine the perfect scenario in your head, I feel like the second bit of it, I don't think you would have imagined it better than going than it did.
I don't think it could have gone better personally.
From you coming back with that face on you of you was just like, I messed up. I'm so sorry. I've messed it up.
What were you thinking then when you said?
Well, no, because it's just everything's a journey, isn't it? We're just moving. Both businesses are just moving in the right direction.
Made me laugh though. This one girl goes, she's how did it go? And by this point, I'm just like, you'd gone to the toilet. I was like, actually, she went, I'm sure it wasn't that bad. I was like, I don't know, it's fine.
People who don't know how you are.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. I was like, it's the one with the dog, and I was like, no, it's absolutely fine. She's like, honestly, some people, they said that to me, and they said, no, you're absolutely fine. And, no, I can self-critique. It's fine. It was absolutely.
We're used to how blunt James is, but normal people will just be like,
So watch this space. So one day Unicorn Company will listen back to this podcast.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we get on the show. If we got on the TV show, it'd be absolutely.
Yeah. Well, yeah, good, nice.
So there you go.
Yeah. Well done. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Cheers.
See you next time.